Hello, today is August 8th, 2024. I am making this video to send to Mutts Dog's Patio to show my love, care, affection, and respect towards animals. Here you see two of them that they are outside cats that we take care of whenever we have an opportunity, whenever they bless us with their presence. This is Mama. That's what we've been calling her for years, since we moved here around 8 years ago. She belongs to our neighbors and she's getting older now, so I'm taking every opportunity and chance I get to spend good times with her and give her some loving. Right here you see Ash. She has also been here almost since we moved in about 7 years ago. She was a kitten. She is now a full grown, beautiful, strong cat, female cat. And I also take care of her. We put food and water. I was able to put her through the community spay and neuter cat program here with Animal Services of El Paso. I was able to put 4 cats that live here in the neighborhood through that, and I am planning on going back and putting more cats through that program, so they don't have to go through the situation where it's babies having babies at that point. And so the reason why I stopped was because my dog's bone cancer was starting to propagate more, so I had to spend every day with him because I didn't know when it would be his last. And I'm gonna show you guys my household. We have here 7 dogs. I like to say 8 dogs. And because my dog that passed away, Walter, he's still here with all of us. But let me show you guys the household. My sister right now, she's doing me the favor of recording this video for me.
Hey guys.
Listen. Here we have the babies. Here that I'm touching with my hands is Bonnie. She was the first dog we got out of this dog pack around 10 years ago now, and she's getting older, and that is heartbreaking because a dog's lifespan is not long like it should be. And I'm also planning to go in the veterinary field, so I could provide my babies with any care they need. And I wish I would have already had known the veterinary field, so I could have given my Walter even better care. And here we have my sister's dog, Brownie. I like to say he's part of the count of dogs because he already made himself part of the pack. We bring him over when my sister is at work, so he can be part of this dog pack. My sister has 2 other cats, but they're not as active as these babies can offer him. My sister's also helping me record my cat rooms as well to the affection I have for them. I have right now 5 cats, and we let the dogs go in so they can become accustomed and they can respect each other. And then behind him is Fifi. She is our newest addition to the family. We got her through my mother. Her neighbor wasn't able to keep her because of her household situation. So my mother was able to get her from her neighbor, and now, because we have a front yard, my mom was able to know that we would provide her with a good home, as well as with all the other dogs, that she would not be lonely. And with all these dogs, you're gonna see background videos of me walking multiple dogs. This would be my babies when we go on walks. It would be me and my dad, and we would split 7 to 6 dogs between ourselves, because not all the 8 dogs were here at one time. Marisol, my dad likes to call her Sparky, and it's also caught on by myself as well. I must admit, even though I still call her Marisol as well. And behind her is Lena. She's a beautiful baby. These 2 my mom brought as well. So we're so thankful for my mother, because without her we wouldn't have been able to been together. And here we have Pretty Boy. Pretty Boy! He misses our big Walter.
How did you find Pretty Boy?
He was homeless, living in the mountain in the middle of UTEP. We are not sure for how long. And a student who was able to get close to him, she helped us bring him to our house, and he then began to settle in. He thankfully recognized this was his home, so much that one night when my dad was walking them, and a concert, a Guns N' Roses concert, was also happening. The fireworks unfortunately scared them, and he was able to get 2 of the 3 dogs he was walking with him, and Pretty Boy ran off, and thankfully he came back on his own. This was a few months when we had first gotten him, so that tells me that he recognized this was his home. The last dog for the count of 8 is Walter. He's not here with us anymore in person, even though he is in spirit. I like to compare him to Appa from the Last Airbender. That's how big and loving he was. And I was able to thankfully bury him here at home, and he passed away from bone cancer. As I had mentioned, he was diagnosed last year during July 21st, and he made it up until February 22nd of this year.
he made it more than 6 months, and he was a fighter every day. And he was so strong that he wasn't letting the cancer affect his daily routine until his front arm just grew too big for him to keep moving around as he wanted to. But he still kept barking at strangers on the other side of the gate, and he kept on trying to play with the dogs with one hand, even if that were the case, stationary. And right here is his grave site. Every day I come here and water it. It's in the back. It's in the back. And I love him. I miss him so much. I'm so glad when he passed away. I was so scared of not being here with him. And thankfully I got off of work early that day, and I came straight home, and I noticed that his breathing had become labored, and I was giving him laser therapy as well as ointment. Since he was diagnosed, the laser therapy came a few weeks later until my mom was able to find the laser therapy machine, and that would alleviate his pain. I would do hour sessions just sitting with him, talking to him, telling him how much I loved him and how much everyone loved him here. And thankfully I was here with him during that last day, during those last hours. I was able to. My dad was here also. Walter loved my dad so much. He would have given his life for him at any second. And thankfully my dad was here as well. And I also, with all these babies around, I know it's a big responsibility, and that's how it should be. It's I'm glad. I'm so thankful to be able to be in a position to be able to give them the best life possible. And that's what I'm gonna keep doing for the rest of my life, as well as all other animals. While Walter was going through his cancer, I was able to open up my household to cats, even though we had been taking care of them for years outside, and my dad had been going on runs throughout days of the week in different locations in the city to feed homeless cats. And I joined him about a year and a half ago in his trips to go take care of homeless cats in different locations around the city, providing food and water. And every day remaining of the week, I go ahead and do it. Sometimes every other day if we don't have enough food to make the rations, and
if we know a location is a location where they throw away the food and water, then I go ahead and go every day, so I can make sure that even if it gets thrown away, there is more that can sustain their lives, the homeless animals. I also have been taking care of a group of homeless dogs for about two and a half months now, going on 3 months. They live next to the National Guard checkpoint that's on Chihuahuita Street, or it's either called Chihuahuita Street or Chihuahua Street, in downtown El Paso, right near the river and the border wall. There had been living there for about 2 to 3 years, a pack of dogs that I had first noticed when I was going to work in that vicinity, and I had first seen them, and as I knew that they were still there after, I knew that they could probably still be there. So a couple months ago, I went ahead and asked the soldier at the checkpoint if the dogs were still there, and he said they were, and he said that they had gotten in trouble over feeding them and giving them water. So I was so thankful that I had just gotten there to begin taking care of them myself, and they're beautiful. One of them is called Blue, the other is called Red, the other is called Yellow, and the other one was a girl. I didn't get a chance to name her, but she was real shaggy. She was similar to Walter once I show you guys a picture, and I feel so terrible because I called the animal services thinking that animal services was a non-kill shelter, which in fact it isn't, except when I called them I thought otherwise, thinking that they would give them a chance to live out the remaining of their lives, long lives, because they seem not so old, to get a chance to be adopted. Except I was told just recently that animal services does have a kill shelter policy in place. So I feel so terrible about taking them away from what they had already made a home. I had called because the soldier had let me know that a mother had just given birth to puppies, and it was just around the days where the 100-degree and higher days were going to begin. So I knew I had to call for help, and I was still under the impression that animal shelters was a no-kill shelter. So I told them that they could get the other dogs as well. They picked up Yellow and the mother and the puppies. I need to go and check on her so she doesn't get lost in the system. I at least need to, the world needs to know that she was alive. And there's other 2 dogs that were not caught, and I still go and take care of them. Our last dog that I forgot to mention in the previous video, this is Bones. We call him Don Cuervo. My mom was also responsible for bringing him to us. He's around 5 to 6 years old. And I also forgot to mention that my father and I take care of homeless animals in the streets. On Saturdays we do it together, and every other day I do it by myself. groups of homeless cats as well as homeless dogs. And the homeless dogs, they live in the National Guard checkpoint next to it by the downtown bridge here in El Paso. Their names are Yellow, Red, Blue, and Blackie. And I also pick up dead animals on the street that have been hit by cars, unfortunately. That's also another big thing that I do. And thank you so much. I was also going to mention that we come from a low-income family, though we don't let that stop us from helping out the animals. And if I were to get this opportunity, I would use the great financial opportunity that you guys are providing to pay for their food as well as pay for my education to get into veterinary school. Right now I'm doing the prerequisites at EPCC. I would use that to fund my education as well as pay for any support for the animals. Thank you so much for your consideration. Have a good day.